right.
Well, I feel like we didn't dig too deep into your. Well, I think you mentioned like some parts, but how you say you in a relationship now, right?
Yo,
I think I know the answer now.
Yo, this is the third time. Yo, Xavier.
Wait.
Why do you keep putting me on this spot, man?
No.
Welcome back to the rawest podcast in the city, Buff City Central. We back for another one. So look, today we got something different for y'all, you know, because we were just talking about social media impacts, gun violence, all that type of things. You know what I'm saying? Those serious topics. Mm-hmm. If you haven't tuned in, tap into those, by the way. But now we got something different. Teenagers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Us as teenagers in 2022, dating in the era of social media, COVID, all of these crazy things.
Absolutely.
So, Xavier, how you want to take this, my guy? How you want to do this?
Shoot, I don't know. Like, yeah, a lot of people, if y'all know me in my relationship life, it has been very complicated. I ain't gonna lie. It is.
It's been complicated. I know you've been going through it on the low. Can you just tell the people what, like a glimpse of what you have been going through?
Well, I would say this about like just teenage relationship and this. It's funny you say like in this era because
right.
I'm at a time in my life where, you know, I'm just trying to get business done.
Right.
It's absolutely, it's crunch time for me. I'm trying to make sure I'm all set for college as far as when it comes to scholarships and stuff like that, because college ain't cheap. Like, you have to pay a lot of money for that, even if you get all like the best like packages and financial aid. Like, you will still have to pay a lot like out of pocket for college. And so I'm just have been doing what I got to do to make sure I'm applying to scholarships after scholarships after scholarships.
Putting that work in.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure I have the money that I need. Now, I also got to make sure I'm also getting my community service in, because that's also going to help like with getting that aid and just the benefits that come with that.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So financial aid, if you do community service, you build financial aid?
Oh, no, I mean like building my resume up in a way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
like
usually, so you build it up like hopefully down the line that you could get like opportunity grants and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's just one of the reasons why I try to like commit to community service, not only for the scholarships, of course, but that's been my passion, you know, like for a couple of years now. So
yeah, now
so
you know me. Hard with that. You always go hard with the community service for sure.
Absolutely. So then you have to, when you factor in a relationship, that's when things get complicated. Now, not saying that you can't balance a relationship with all that stuff, but it's going to be difficult.
Right. What do you feel like is the biggest barrier, not barrier, but challenge, like in relationships today type? Like, or you could just say in yours, whichever way you want to take that.
I'll answer both. I think in relationships in general, the biggest challenge is having that not only communication, but that comprehension. You see, people always say that, it's important to have communication in a relationship, which is, yes, y'all need to have communication. But what's the point of all that communication if there's no comprehension? People need to be able, in order for relationships to work, there needs to be a sense of understanding of what the other person is, like what the goals and the aspirations that the other person has, and make sure they're genuine goals, like something they're committing themselves to, putting in the work in. And then once you have the comprehension, then that's where you're supposed to build off each other, help each other, like become stronger, better people. And one of the like that, usually that was in the beginning like of our relationship. Well, my ex, it was difficult like to find that comprehension, because, you know, we are like, in a way, we're two different people, like different cultures and stuff like that. So it did act as a barrier, like in the relationship. So I will always say that having that comprehension is a crucial part, like in any type of relationship.
So, okay. I feel like, though, my biggest like barrier in relationships is just like talking, like, and not just being angry. You know what I'm saying? And I try my best to just, but also I get mad quick though. So it's really my patience too. I say that and my patience, because I'm not a patient person. So I get mad if it's like right away. I'm not gonna cap. So and then if like you just want to be mad or something like that, I cannot deal with those type of problems.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to. Why would you want to be mad?
Like, no, you see, I'm glad you said that. There's, like, I know you see on social media all the time how like girls and not really, I don't see guys that do this a lot, but brag about like toxic relationships and stuff like that. Like, that is like, that's not something like to be happy or proud of. Like, as like there came a time in a relationship where it was toxic for me, and that wasn't a good time for me. Like, I was going through like mental breakdowns and stuff like that. Like, no. I don't do no toxic relationships. You want to have like a pure, healthy relationship as possible.
You definitely do, but what I also think though, as us as young black men though, we gotta learn that to be happy just with what you got going on, because I wouldn't lie to. It's been times where my shorty and stuff like that, I took her for granted. You know what I'm saying? Getting caught up in the other type of stuff that we shouldn't be doing.
Trust.
We also gotta keep that in mind too. If you got something good, some like a good loyal female, stuff like that, you do not need to be doing other stuff.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I know we like to joke around. Again, we joke around saying, well, actually, I ain't gonna say joke around. For the most time, we mean it for the most part. Like when we saying we trying to get like every girl like in the city and stuff like that. but honestly, and I mean it, like genuinely, we gotta try like be more loyal.
But who doesn't want to be lit?
Yeah, listen. You see, here's this thing: you could be lit, but just understand. And actually, I want to like break this myth like of like really demonizing like quote unquote hoes. And when I say hoes, I mean people. We use it only on girls, which I'm gonna keep it real for you. You can't just use it on girls. Like us guys, like we can be hoes ourselves too. We could. But I think it's all about just being. It's all about being honest, really. Like if you someone who's not committed into a relationship, who's not really want to like get involved, like commit to one person, okay, just make sure you're honest about it and don't actually find yourself like having someone catch their feelings for you and leading like that person on. But
don't cap though. That is a fact. We shouldn't do that. But I feel like the reason why people do that is just because like you don't want. All right. If let's say you have your girl, right? You and your girl going through something. Yeah. The reason why a lot of people go back to the hoes and stuff like that is because like they not trying to deal with that type of issue like the real life. So that's just an escape for them type. But they also leading other people on in that process. And so that is wrong.
And that's where you're gonna have all this just unnecessary drama come out.
Right. But okay, so. What do you feel like is the hardest thing about, like, what do you feel like is the worst thing to do when you in a scenario of cheating? Like, what do you feel like is should be the proper response when you get cheated on?
I'm the one getting cheated on.
Yeah.
Well, here's a funny thing. I have been cheated on before. It wasn't. Well, low key. I'll call it low key cheated on because like she was like talking like with this other dude like for a lot. But I would say, what was my reaction? This was all the way back in my lower classmen days.
Right. Tell me your reaction and then tell me what you feel like should be the appropriate reaction.
I just from that point, because the funny thing is she said like she wanted to take a break, but that's when it's funny, like taking a break, that's a very complicated term. Like, usually I don't believe in breaks, but then, unfortunately, like, my last relationship, it was supposed to be a break, but then it turned into an actual breakup.
Yo, am I a bop? Because
Like, listen. No. But listen, here's the deal. But I'm gonna have to take my reaction though when like when I got cheated on, like I just like ignored her. To be honest, like I just moved on. Like I didn't pay her no attention. Now she tried coming back like a month later and stuff like that, saying she missed me and all that stuff. But like I'm just moving on with life.
She
like,
miss you after she cheated on you?
I guess
that's
so.
Crazy.
I don't know, but listen, I try at the time at my lower classman days, like y'all don't understand, I was down bad. Like I'm gonna be for real, I'm gonna expose myself. I was so desperate to get into a relationship, and the thing is with her, like I just wanted to immediately get into a relationship so bad because like no other girl want me and stuff like that. So
so you just deal with whatever.
Yeah, but that's how that's going to turn out. Like we didn't really even last a month. Right. So you really got to be smart with the relationships and stuff like that. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Don't be so desperate. Y'all can't be desperate to be getting into a relationship like that.
Right. It's gotta be natural. But this is the thing about me though. I felt like in the looks like department, like my look is just now getting raw. But like when I was like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know how I used to be. I was like an A1 dork.
I think we have had the glow up of this century. You don't understand. Word. Back in freshman and like the lower half of sophomore. Yeah, freshman and sophomore year. Word. I was not a good looking dude. I ain't gonna cap. Well, actually, I ain't gonna like downplay myself. I had something there. But I feel like I've blown up. But much
the thing
better.
About me though, my looks never matched like my confidence though, because I always would be so raw. Like it was always just in my head to be like so raw or whatever like that, so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why this is since I'm on it, it's the rawest podcast in the city. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so I still always like got shorties. You know what I'm saying? So I never really. I don't know, bro. I feel like if you a young dude, bro, as long as you can talk and you funny, bro, you can do what you want to do. People just gotta have the confidence for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, people gotta understand what did B. Lou say? You miss 100. No, who said this? Michael Jordan. Somebody said this. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Absolutely. Now,
that's a fact.
That's the thing about me. Like, I wasn't afraid to take the shot, but over the course of time, it does come a point where you have to realize, okay, just calm down. You need to really do self-reflection. Do you really need to be in a relationship right now? Like, is it really a huge priority for you? Like, you can have a bond with someone that's no problem, and it can like mature, like what you said. Like, it can actually like build up into a relationship. But at the end of the day, you gotta just make sure like you're prioritizing yourself.
Yeah, because when you're in a relationship, if you want it to work, it's supposed to be about the two of y'all, not just one. So you definitely do got to prioritize yourself. But I ain't gonna cap though. Like, it has been like breaks, like sometimes, but overall I've been with the same girl for like 3 years, bro.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not really.
Joe, I don't want you to don't take this wrong way, but I'm surprised. like the way you be presenting yourself, you
that's
be
crazy.
Thinking.
That's crazy. Nah, though, bro. I'm just saying, like.
But that's good, man.
Like, I'm saying overall, you know what I'm saying? Like, not straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I couldn't, like, the way now, when it's that long with somebody, bruh, like, I'll be in my room just looking at stuff, right? And I'll be like, I wouldn't even have this if it wasn't for, you know what I'm saying? Like, this little stuff, bro, like lotion, candles, and stuff like that. Just little stuff you really wouldn't have bought yourself before. But okay, what do you feel like? What is some advice you would give to people on how to deal with a breakup? Because you had a really I don't even know the word, traumatizing breakup, my boy. You know, it was vicious. Respectfully.
Well, the breakup itself,
a little vicious, bro.
Nah, it wasn't really toxic because originally it was supposed to be a break, but then like it turned into a breakup, and then we really haven't been talking since then. But honestly, like if you have the type of mindset, because throughout our whole relationship, I always had the mindset of like getting what I need to get done, like being on the grind and stuff like that. So it basically all depends on what your mentality is. Now, for those of you who are like have them still in that mentality of I really want to be in a relationship and stuff like that, like you have to realize like they will like you need to make sure that you are your best self, because when you have like your own best self, like they're gonna come to you.
Right. And you got to know when to be in it, and you got to know when to chase the bag, though, too.
Absolutely.
Because that's one thing about me and you. We talking about relationships, but this whole time we've been chasing the bag.
For real.
And that's a fact. So that's just another thing, too.
Absolutely.
And worry about get your pape, too.
And the thing is, I some of y'all must probably already know, I'm about to be working at the hoagie stop. That's a job that I'm very proud of. For real, like
hoagie stop.
Yeah.
Shout out, Andrew.
Yeah, Brian Cogell.
Brian, I'm tweeting.
He's a great man. And please, 2020 Allen Street, please come to Hoagie Stop. Great hoagies, best hoagies in Buffalo. You don't have to worry about Jim's Steakhouse. Sorry, Jim's. But anyway, back on topic.
Wait, you didn't start there yet?
Oh, not yet.
Oh, I thought you started there.
Oh, no, I already got that. I've been on training already.
Oh, so like, okay, I got a question about that. How are the steak hoagies?
The steak hoagies, they are good. They
are good.
Yes, they're the best.
Maybe we need to bring them back up here and tell them bring some free samples.
Absolutely. Well,
hopefully, Could you get that? Could you get something like that up here for Bow City? I know Breaking Barriers had
maybe.
it.
I'll think about it.
Oh, okay. All right, keep going.
All right, but anyway, but like again, like I got a new job. I just received a good scholarship, which I'm very proud of. So like the stuff I'm doing, I'm very proud. Like I'm very proud of myself, like of what I'm doing. Although I could be doing better, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'm in a better position than I would have been if I was still like worrying about a relationship and stuff like that. Right. So again, like you really need to prioritize your own self-care. Like that's ain't a joke. Like you really need to make sure that yourself is mentally strong. You can't always like depend on like your significant other. Like you can't just depend on them on everything. Like you need to be like the controller of your own destiny.
And you know how some people prioritize relationships? I prioritize my future. Like that's
Absolutely.
what I'm always thinking about. So a lot of people like, and this is so funny. Before we started this podcast, I told people I'm gonna have a podcast. I was so happy about this. Somebody was like, "Oh, you want to do everything?" Yes, I want to do everything. Why would I not want to do everything? Like this summer, we was doing the social justice training, teaching the youth. I'm an artist too. New music out now. Subscribe, Havoc J. Word. When editing, put my thing on there, like a tag me and him, our tag, like Jake Paul. But what was I also finna say? Oh yeah, we're doing the podcast. I also have a job too. Looks like a regular job. So I just want I want people to take from this, like whatever dream you have of doing something, the age does not matter. That's what I want people to take away from watching Buff City. The age does not matter, because I'm the youngest on here, and then we got Dorian, who is a grown man too. So people can see it from both perspectives.
Oh, and I just want to add this one other thing. When you're thinking about relationships, thinking about getting into a relationship, you got to make sure that person is the one. You need to do a full examination. Now, here's the deal with
how long should you be talking?
That's funny. Talking stage, as long, I would say the longer the better. I'll keep it real. But you want to know what's funny? Like my last relationship, I knew that person like for a couple of years. Like we were like good friends, and like we knew like almost everything about each other. Well, not everything, but basically like a good amount of things. And so you would think that that means that we would like eventually, if we were ever date, like we would be like great for each other. But what you're gonna come to realize is that, and we both like had this realization that we were really better off being good friends. Right. And at the end of the day, you guys really need to really think about a person like who you're gonna date, and really think about it does she has the type of vibe as a like a girlfriend or boyfriend, or does they have the type of vibe as a like just as a good friend or a best friend? Because not all, because you could have been best friends like for years and years, and then y'all start dating, then y'all realize that y'all not it for each other, and then boom, like years worth of friendship, like it's just like it gets destroyed.
You know what my issue with what you saying, like basically examine like who it is for a long time. Why you're waiting this long time, right? We talking, and you're examining me, but you want me to be loyal to you though.
Well, no, but that's the talk. That's part of talking and stuff like that. I'm not saying like for like years and months. Like for me, when I say a long time, I'll keep it real. Like nowadays, like people be in the talking stage. Like I feel like for a couple weeks.
People be talking for years. I swear, I know people who have just been talking for years and never, you know what I'm saying, just be talking. So I don't know.
Well, I'll keep it all right. I do know a few people. I feel like they literally been talking.
And it's not just men and it's not just women. So it's both. It's both who is like that.
Yeah.
Just want to have a long, you know what I'm saying, they roster. You want to have someone have a roster built up. So yeah, but I also do feel like if you like are in a relationship, then it's no excuse for cheating and that stuff. Like
absolutely.
Because I don't agree with that. That's a fat issue.
Yeah, like loyalty. That's something, and
I'm definitely big on loyalty.
And we talked about this before. Right. Like that's one of my like main fundamental like prioritizations in the relationship is loyalty.
Because if you can't be loyal, I just can't trust you. I'm big with loyalty with any type of relationship I have. If it's like a homie relationship, you know what I'm saying, like a brother, like you know anybody, bro. Loyalty, I'm big on that.
Absolutely.
But bro, I think we've been talking for a minute though.
Yeah. Like anything else you gotta? I feel like we didn't dig too deep into your. Well, I think you mentioned like some parts, but how you say you in a relationship now, right?
Yo,
I think I know the answer now.
Yo, this is the third time. Yo, Xavier. Wait. Why do you keep putting me on this spot, man?
No. You don't even know what I was about to ask.
You just asked it.
No, you said before.
For anybody who's not watching, I know I'm not wrong because JV just did the same reaction I had. He's not in the camera, but he had the same exact reaction I had. Nah. Xavier know what he just did.
Nah. I'm just trying to. That's my lead on to the question. I was just trying to say, right, from your personal relationship. From your personal life, like how did you keep like? Because you said like you were in a relationship for a few years. Like let's keep it real. That's longer than most boys, and girls nowadays. So I just want to say how do we as young people today like maintain like long and strong relationships with each other?
Okay, so I wouldn't lie. I am not in a I'm not in a relationship as of right now.
Oh, yeah.
But when you know you gonna be with somebody for you've been with them for a long time, right now it's not really like don't matter because you already know. You know how you got that person know what's up, whatever like that. You know how that be. So that's how I answer the first part, and then for two, you can establish that type of bond. When someone is not even like y'all can be cool if y'all is like best friends, like y'all can be like that is like somebody who you would be cool with no matter what type thing. You know what I'm saying? When you just have built that bond for so long, you know you're not gonna not want to talk to that person. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes people do stuff and you got to come back and you got to rebuild. Cause something happened, so you know people are angry and things like that. I'm just saying that's how you build up that kind of type of bond and connection. Everybody who know me know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's a fact.
You know, I got one more thing to add because I already told you this already. I told Breaking Barriers and anyone about my last relationship. Now, if it comes to a point in time, if your significant other like takes you out of character in a way that like you don't usually act, like, because I know who I am. I'm like, for the most part, I can be like a cool, chill, calm dude, like, for the most part. But if you have someone that's taking you out of that character, out of that relationship, like, that's a red flag. Like, because what's going to happen is, over time, like, that your mental state, it ain't going to like maintain well. Right. Like, you're not going to be the person that you once was, and that's when it could potentially affect your relationship with other people, how you interact with them and stuff like that. So you just really make sure you gotta stay mentally strong. Like, that's a must. Like,
you definitely do have to stay mentally strong. Love yourself, or you can love anybody else. That's a fact. But and also another thing too, we didn't even address this in the beginning, and I thought about it when you were just in the middle of talking, but we were just on a roll. So the Dorian, I know it's like a couple podcasts for one person hasn't been. Look, we are sorry. Dorian is sick. He will be back though. We will all be back the next episode. Okay. Give us anything to talk about in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and wherever you coming from, if it's from Instagram, TikTok, whatever, tell us in the comments too. The Ross in the City, Ross Podcast in the City, Buff City Central, out.
Peace.